everyone. It seems to be a very large number. So why is it that we say everyone is and not everyone are? Let's find out. So we have one and we have body. Now the pronunciation of it, w, a, n. With the body, you might find three different types of pronunciation: bo, ba, or b and schwa, b, 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 and then d, e. So body, buddy, buddy. But let's focus back on one and body. If you think about it, one is a number. So it is it. Body also can be referred to as it, and it is a thing. Now I know what you are thinking, body is a thing. From the language perspective, it is, so let's just stay with it. Now let's fit a real person into that grammar interpretation of one and body. Okay, so I am a person, I am real, I am human, I have everything that makes me a person. I have my dreams, I have my hopes, I have many things, including a body. And I have only one body. So one person has one body, which means that really one person is one body. In other words, you can say that one body is. This is where we get to the point where we can start thinking of one and body as something interchangeable. And we can treat this as simply one is or body is, making it singular. So at this point, we can bring another element of interpretation. So we normally are going to have four interpretations of one or body: every, some, any, no. So that way we have everyone or everybody, someone or somebody, anyone or anybody, and no one or nobody. We always are going to follow with is, which is a singular verb agreement, and that is because of that one and that body. That is because of this. Now, before we begin, we need to remind ourselves that one person is one body, and each of those words is going to only add an element of interpretation of this. So we are going to start with 7 individuals. And if you start thinking about what I just said, I said individuals because each of those persons has one body. But what we can do is we can put those individuals into a group. And at this point, what we can do is we can view those individuals from the perspective of a group. So for example, if we ask a question, we can expect the answer coming from the group. And now we can start thinking about who knows the answer. If we say every, we really expect the entire group to have that answer, meaning all of them. So in that way, if I ask a question, suddenly you can say, well, every person knows the answer. Now, you hear what I just said. I said knows, because it is that third singular verb. Every person in this group knows the answer. Some is different because it's no longer all-inclusive. What it's doing, it's talking about an unspecified number of. Now, very important, that means it's not a specific number. And that gives an area, or that gives us some form of flexibility of interpretation. Because what does unspecified number really mean? It could be perhaps 1, but it could be 2, but it also could be 3, or maybe 5. We simply don't know. So that is our sum. So next, let's have a look at no. That's pretty straightforward. That means basically 0, meaning if no one knows the answer, well, that means 0 out of the whole group. Now, any is a very interesting interpretation because from the perspective of a number, it's fairly simple. It's simply 1. The question is, which one? So you see, there's that other element here, which means I know it's 1, but I don't know which one. And now there's a second question. Do I care which one? The answer is, no, I don't. Meaning, maybe it's this one, maybe, but maybe it's this one. Well, maybe that one. So you really don't know which, but you don't care. All you care about is that there is one. So that's why any, from the perspective of interpretation, you will see, makes perfect sense in the negatives or in questions. If you say, does anyone know the answer? You don't really care who knows the answer, which individual. You just care about one person, any person, knowing the answer. Let's put all this knowledge into some form of real-life scenario. So I'd like you to imagine you are a member of mountain goats and you decide to climb one of the peaks. Now this is a new peak, so it's all going to be very adventurous. This blue individual, that's you. So that should be fairly clear. And now let's get into the scenario. Now, at some point during your trek, you decide to separate from the group. You agree with everyone. You are going to go in a certain direction and you are going to find or try to find a water source. And then you are going to radio your group where it is. Now, everyone in the group, including yourself, has a radio, two-way radio, so you can quite easily talk to one another. That's a great plan, but while you are going and trekking around, you slip and you hurt your leg, which means you no longer can walk, and now you need to be rescued. Now you know that everyone has a radio. So now you know that when you radio the group, everyone is going to hear you. But now the question is, does it make sense for you to ask for the whole group to come to your rescue? Does it make sense to say, can everybody help me please? I hurt my leg and I cannot walk. That is probably not the best solution. Now think about where you are. Obviously, you don't need everyone to come and help you. So, what you normally are going to do is you are going to focus on unspecified number. Now, maybe you need just one person to come and help you. Maybe you need 2, maybe you need 3. Now, you don't know, but the most logical thing to ask is for an unspecified amount and then let the group decide what they want to do. So, we are going to say, can someone help me please? I hurt my leg. Now, at this point of time, of course, we are talking about unspecified number, so we really don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. But now something really strange happens, and that is something you did not expect. Namely, nobody can hear you. And at that point of time, the whole reality for you changes. You know that nobody can hear you, and all you need is for only one person to be able to hear you. That's all you care about, because now it's becoming life or death. And so you see, at this point of time, your message, your call is going to change. You don't care if it's this person or that person. All you care about is that it's one person who can actually hear you and help you. And your message simply is, can anyone hear me? Please help, come to my rescue. And so that's basically the interpretation of every, some, no, and any in the scenario of going trekking in the mountains. Be careful in the mountains.
We need a bit of a broken leg over here, so to make it slightly more realistic.
Thank you for watching, and we hope you've just found English a little bit easier. Happy learning, and see you in the next video.